I saw something very interesting from DJ Adams this week, so let's dig a little bit deeper. Hi, I'm Thain. Welcome to another SAP CodeTalk. And DJ, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me again, Ian.
As I said in my intro, you put something interesting, and I wanted to grab you. For those that don't know, DJ published a blog recently with a really interesting title, and it was CAP. Hold on, let me look at my notes. CAP is important because it's not important. So, DJ, explain yourself.
I shall attempt to explain myself. Yes, it is a little bit of a, not a clickbaity title, but an attention-grabbing title. It's actually a phrase that came to mind when I was talking about this subject to a colleague, and I thought, yeah, that's a great way to draw people in, and also to set the scene for what I wanted to explain in the blog post itself. The fact that it is both super important, but also at a higher level, we should not think about it as as anything important at all. It's a really nice sort of contrast.
I like it. But let's sort of take a step back, because we said CAP. Obviously, some of our viewers may not quite know what CAP is. So can you do a brief explanation?
Yeah. So CAP stands for Cloud Application Programming Model. The M is silent, and it's basically an open, opinionated framework. Consists of languages, libraries, and tools, and essentially it's all geared towards helping you build enterprise-grade services and applications as well, back-end services or back-end services with applications, and it uses best practices. It uses convention over configuration and a lot of sort of out-of-the-box solutions that have been built elsewhere. We're using knowledge, standing on the shoulders of giants in a lot of cases, and it's a great way to start building solutions at the business level at a really high level, as in start as a bit further up the stack than you might otherwise do.
Okay, so let's get back to the start of our conversation, where the actual blog post. So how can something be important and not important at the same time? So let's dig a little bit deeper into that blog post.
Okay, so the conversation I was having with my colleague was about the focus that I've been giving to CAP recently. I talk about CAP quite often on my hands-on SAP Dev live stream sessions, for example. I've blogged about it as well. So it's important in that I think, and I think a lot of other people think as well, it's an important thing for people to know, to understand, to be able to wield effectively, to use. In the same way, though, that to me, here in the UK, English is a spoken language, and an understanding of the customs and the mores. I don't know where that word came from in the recesses of my brain when I was writing a blog post. But, the social customs and so on. That's really important for me to get on in life here in the UK, right? You have to speak English and do things that are socially acceptable and so on. So it's really important that I've learned English and I can express myself. But that completely fades into the background when I'm using that language and I'm using my understanding of what's socially acceptable and what's socially not acceptable, for example, to just get on in life, because the important thing is getting on in life, living. And in the same way, CAP, I see CAP as super important to understand, so that I can get on with solving business problems, building extensions and integrations on SAP Cloud Platform with the business services and with S/4HANA Cloud and Concur and so on. Okay, so I need a level of understanding, a level of competence to be able to do the really important things, which which are solving business problems. So it's important because I need to know it, I need to understand it, I need to be able to wield it effectively, know how it works. But then once I understand that, that should really fade into the background as a given, as English to me is a given, as again, understanding of social aspects is a given. And then it becomes unimportant, because the important thing then is to be able to build these solutions for business domains.
Okay, so we should learn CAP so we can more effectively build solutions to business problems.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I put in the blog post is slightly flowery. I suppose, oh, yeah, flowery, see what I did there? I have no idea. Slightly flowery in that CAP to me is this sort of fertile soil. Okay, it's got some nutrients in it, so we can plant seeds and plant other things that will grow and blossom into different things, food, flowers, whatever. So the things that are growing out of the soil are these business domain solutions, extensions, integrations, and whatever on the SAP Cloud Platform. But they couldn't grow, they couldn't be nurtured, we couldn't water them and make them into strong flowers and trees and so on, and bushes. Where am I going with this metaphor?
Yeah,
unless we had
great analogies.
unless we had this rich, well-watered soil. It's like a substrate. It's like this sort of, it's the dial tone of, oh, hey, there we go. It's the dial tone of business solutions. There we go. You can quote me on that. So that's effectively the way I see it. Is the backbone to different solutions. So soil, you're walking along and you're seeing all these beautiful flowers and the food and the stuff that you're growing on your allotment, for example. That's the important stuff. That's the business domain stuff. But what's actually, making that all happen underneath, literally, is the soil. And that's what CAP is.
Okay. So very interesting. If anybody wants to sort of look a little bit deeper at CAP, where would you point them to?
So a great starting place is the CAP documentation, which is online at cap.tools.sap. It's a really cool top-level domain, .sap, so it is cap.tools.sap. There's also, of course, a really nice community of folks out there, and the best place to find them and start interacting with them, there's a Slack channel, there's a GitHub repo, is to go to the CAP community GitHub repo, which you can go to with bit.ly, as in bit.ly /cap-com, CAP community. From there, you can get links to the Slack channel, to the repo, to the questions on answers.sap.com, and also to the hands-on SAP Dev live stream information as well, for example.
Okay. Anything more to add? Any podcasts or anything you'd like to mention?
Oh, yes, there is a podcast I'd like to mention, actually. Thank you for asking, Ian. So I've got, oh no, I've not got it here. I started a podcast called Tech Aloud.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, where I read aloud tech articles that I find interesting and that I wouldn't otherwise get around to reading. It was a bit of a scratching of my own itch. I was thinking, oh, it'd be really nice when I'm walking to work or getting bus or whatever, or running, which I don't listen to anything. Anyway, really nice to be able to listen to stuff that's read to me, because I'm never going to read everything I need to read. Couldn't find a podcast that did that, so I thought, I'm going to do it. So that's Tech Aloud. And yeah, there's all sorts of interesting articles on there. I mean, I can say they're interesting because I didn't write them. All sorts of interesting articles on there. So yeah, subscribe to Tech Aloud. I'll post a link to Tech Aloud to the show notes on YouTube for this Code Talk.
Perfect. DJ, as always, thank you very much. Hope you're having some good time in your allotment, and thanks for joining me on Code Talk today.
Thanks very much, Ian.
Thanks very much. See you soon.
Bye.